Hi, Matt. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well, Lauren.
Great. And if you could tell us a bit about who General Plumbing Supply are and your role and how long you've been there.
Sure. So, General Plumbing Supply is a wholesaler and distributor of plumbing, heating, kitchen, and bath supplies. We're based in New Jersey. We have 18 stores in New Jersey and one in New York. It's a family owned business. My great grandfather started it in 1910, and now it's in the fourth generation of leadership. And my role is I'm our director of finance, so I'm responsible for all financial functions of the firm, and I also help out on the operation side as well.
Okay, nice. You have a nice mixed role then, by the sounds of things.
Yes, yes, do a bit of everything as a family business.
Yeah, that's really nice. Okay. And so, Matt, how do you get involved in rebates then? Where does that fit into your role? I imagine you might oversee that.
I would say not on a hands-on basis, but based on the structure of most distributors, rebates can play a very large role in the profitability of the business.
Yeah.
I'd say you don't want a distributor to be too laser focused on rebates in terms of how they actually go to market, but they are very, very important. And I would say my role is in terms of forecasting the business's results. As I got deeper, as I built out our forecasting capabilities, I realized that rebates were a major blind spot for the business. So that was a major frustration I had, is that I couldn't feel confident about our forecasts for our rebates. So it kind of put the whole accuracy and reliability of my forecasting at risk.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, you've kind of answered it a bit in that, but what problems have you seen maybe then with rebates, and how were you guys managing them before then?
So it was definitely very spreadsheet based, which puts a lot of work on our purchasing director as well as our accounting manager, um, as well as I would say the intellectual honesty of how we booked our rebates was not uh, up to par. Um, we're on accrual accounting, but the way, honestly, we're recognizing our rebates currently is on a cash basis.
Mhm.
And honestly, from my perspective, yes, cash flow is incredibly important, but in terms of the earnings level of the company, I need to know when rebates are actually earned. And based on the way we currently were doing it or previously were doing it, um, it wasn't capturing that accurately.
Okay. And was that a team, or was that like one individual, or?
The majority of the work fell on one individual.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And so, when did you realize then you needed, well, that there are solutions even out there available and that you were going to go and look for them?
Yeah, so I'd say the event that really pushed us to start looking was we realized that our largest vendor, we were owed a rebate of $500,000 that we did not receive.
Okay.
So for something of that size,
Yeah.
it really solidified my thoughts that we needed a better solution. And I'd say perhaps it was just fate, but a salesperson from Enable just happened to reach out that week. And I'm sure most salespeople are used to perhaps like a lukewarm perception, but it was actually the opposite for me. And it was a conversation I welcomed, and the timing was just perfect.
Nice. Okay. It was that lucky salesperson's day.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And what was the, I mean, again, you've answered it slightly, but what was the motivation in the end to move to a system? Slightly answered by your previous question, but anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, I'd say it allowed us to be a bit more proactive with our vendors. Instead of kind of being on our heels, it allows us to get onto our toes
Mm.
and push back perhaps on any information they give us that doesn't align with our data.
Yeah.
Um, I think it also allows us to dictate the conversation better on certain areas of the relationship between the distributor and the vendor that perhaps we wouldn't have that level of detail beforehand. Because at the end of the day, I mean, the rebate structures are driven mostly by the vendors. I don't see that power shift moving, but if they align them in a way that benefits them, then it's in our best interest to succeed and deliver for their needs as well as earn more for our business. So the ability to identify areas where we can push or take opportunistic um, purchases and push ourselves in further into different buckets, I think is a level of detail and visibility that is extremely powerful.
Yeah. Okay. And then why did you pick then Enable, Matt, out of all the solutions available?
We honestly didn't undergo like a shopping experience, to be honest. We just really liked the people at Enable. We obviously, anytime you bring on another IT, supplier or partner, there's always risk and time and work associated with that. But Enable was able to give us a trial structure that really, aside from our time, there really was no monetary risk. So we essentially gave them 3 to 4 months to show us that they were able to accommodate our rebate structures, and they succeeded. And the team was fantastic. Communicated very clearly with us, clearly invested a lot of work and time. So after the 3 or 4 month trial, we felt comfortable, turning that into a real partnership.
Okay, nice. And I guess kind of following on from that then, how have you found the Enable team since you've been using the platform more? How has that been?
Yeah, very responsive. Most of the time, they have an answer for us relatively quickly. And I'd say the thing I admire the most is that if they don't have the answer, they do the work, they do their research. Perhaps there's not a perfect fix, but they at least come back to us with a few options.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
very responsive and supportive.
Yeah. Great. And why do you think then, Matt, others should consider a system, maybe people similar in your position? Why do you think a system like Enable can be changing for a business?
Yeah, I just think the ability to forecast your rebates is an extremely powerful tool. I'd say especially for smaller businesses that perhaps were harmed by COVID, that were in cash flow positions that were a bit difficult.
Yeah.
Being able to track your rebates, know the earnings power of your business, know if there's any rebates that you're owed that you aren't being paid. It's just going to allow us to feel that much more confident about where we're going to be in 6 months, how we can use our cash, what investments can we make, and if times get tough again, what levers we can pull and how that impacts the earnings power and the cash of our business.
Okay, so it sounds like the visibility overall, really.
Yeah, I'd say that's the major advantage that we did not have before Enable.
Okay, nice. And then before I let you go, Matt, what do you like to do on the weekend in a normal world?
I'm a big football fan, actually.
Okay.
So soccer.
Yeah.
And God, Manchester United's put me through hell and back the last 2 days. But yeah, I'd say I'm a morning guy. So from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m., I'm glued to the TV.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Manchester United in the UK, you're referring to?
Yeah.
Nice. I like that. Why Manchester? Any reason?
So when I was very young, Tim Howard, who was American, he actually played goalie for Manchester United. So that was the team that I gravitated towards, and it also didn't hurt that they won the premiership probably 8 times when I was very young. And it's been a rougher 10 past years, but perhaps I'm finally earning my fanhood. So now I'm a lifelong fan.
Nice. Okay. Well, thank you for joining me today, Matt. That was really interesting and insightful. And take care and hopefully speak to you again soon.
Okay. Thanks, Lauren. Nice meeting you.
And you. Bye.
Bye.